their fourth straight away win in the English Premier League. And actually, you know, a kind of dress rehearsal for this game 2,000 miles away. The atmosphere at the weekend was hostile and clamorous. The opponents were energetic and direct. It was nothing like as easy a win as the scoreline suggests either, but United did come through, and they came through with a bit to spare in the end.
Yeah, they rode their luck. They rode their luck at times, but did get the win. And in the end, it was comfortable. But there is always that but at the moment with Manchester United. The times when they are pressed, the times when they are harried, they do get under pressure. They've got to make those clinical decisions of when to play, when not to play.
Angelino, two raiding fullbacks in Galatasaray yellow. And strike from range from Dries Mertens.
Mertens is on top form in a minute, full of life. You can see him now as well, instigating the press.
Torreira, Ziyech. It's got a little tug from Amrabat, but didn't dispossess him. And see what a hurry Galatasaray are in to get on with this and ask big questions of Manchester United.
Oh, they're not unfamiliar with this pressing game. They do it. And that's faulty from Onana there, a fortunate kick.
Here's Garnacho, who scored the goal of his life at the weekend. In towards Højlund! Well, somehow he was kept out by the sprawling challenge from Bardacci, but for a moment it looked as if Højlund had managed to propel it into the goal.
Who knows whether that was meant, but Højlund get across the near post. Finally got the block, but Galatasaray do leave themselves exposed. They will press, they will commit bodies forward without the ball, and this is the jeopardy within the game.
It came off his heel as he fell, and he was actually a little unlucky that he didn't manage to propel it on target. Fernando Muslera, 37 now, is the Galatasaray keeper and captain. Here's Ayhan back in the defensive role that he knows best. He's played the last 3 Champions League games in midfield. Bardacci, naturally left-footed, in towards Icardi, headed away by Maguire. That'll be a goal kick.
You can see Galatasaray love to get the bodies forward, love to get numbers forward. Onana knew that was going wide, trying to stop the corner from the slight deflection. But that man, you get the feeling that everything good will come through him tonight for Galatasaray.
Scored 2, made 2 on his recall at the weekend, Dries Mertens. He has been mainly a substitute for Galatasaray in the last couple of months. He's 36 years of age now, the Belgian, but he is full of tricks. Galatasaray won 4-0 here on Saturday in the Turkish Super League. 34 points out of 39, neck and neck with Fenerbahce, way ahead of the rest. Amrabat feeling the heat. Maguire. It's claustrophobic, both the noise and the tension in the air. Højlund just unable to link with Antony. Maguire again starting on the right of that central defensive pairing. Manchester United trying to play their way out of trouble, almost play their way into trouble, but Antony can escape here, and he's got support from 3 white shirts. He's found Bruno Fernandes, and for once he couldn't find the ball. His touch let him down there, the Manchester United skipper.
Again, that press from Galatasaray. They're going for man basically all over the pitch, which does leave space in behind. It's that first pass from Maguire, from the defence coming forward. Can they win it? Can they get that knockdown, feed off the scraps almost?
Bruno Fernandes. He has got his free kick.
Again, that pressure all over the pitch. This is not going to be a quiet night for the officials or for the Manchester United players.
Or indeed for us. Fernandes takes, Maguire is forward. McTominay, Amrabat. Garnacho's OMG goal at Everton was just 2 minutes and 14 seconds in coming on Sunday. If you haven't seen it, see it. An extraordinary overhead bicycle kick from a young man who's not 20 until July. Here he goes trying to run Bowie. That'll be a fascinating duel. The 23-year-old Parisian Sacha Bowie, who has been in Thierry Henry's French under-21 squad, loves to get forward. He won't want to defend. Same goes for Angelino here. Just beyond Ziyech.
Well, he raises the thumb. Apologises to Wilf Zaha there, who's remonstrating to say, I was on, that was the ball, the simple ball down the line. They're coming forward in numbers, they're coming forward at pace.
Ziyech on the right, Zaha on the left. Familiar foes for Manchester United, both with rich experience of English club football, as indeed has Torreira there. Here's Bardacci. Bowie. His name has been linked with Manchester United in transfer speculation in the last couple of weeks. Iham going long. Burst down the centre of the field by Wilfried Zaha. Don't want to be feeding it back to the goalkeeper too often, although Onana is good with the ball at his feet. Manchester United have got to try to be progressive, and they're doing that here with McTominay. Anthony. Wan-Bissaka has got forward. Instead it's Bruno Fernandes. Fed into Højlund. He's done well. Bruno Fernandes. Garnacho with a chance, and Garnacho with a goal. Manchester United take the lead inside 11 minutes in the week when he scored probably the goal of his life. Alejandro Garnacho scores his first in the Champions League, and Manchester United lead. And Galatasaray have conceded the opening goal in all 5 of their group games now.
Garnacho stuns the crowd, and he continues his wonderful form. Just takes a touch, the moment of composure, onto his weaker foot, but he's got the confidence. It's such a well-worked goal. It's all from Bruno Fernandes, working the ball across the pitch. It's an emphatic finish. It's a brilliant start for Manchester United. They played through the press, they played through the pressure of Galatasaray, and they've got the rewards early on.
Well, Galatasaray trailed twice at Old Trafford last month, but still won. And United have had a problem holding on to leads. And interestingly, Galatasaray were behind for just 6 minutes and then just 4 minutes in that match in Manchester. United didn't consolidate when they took the lead. In Munich, you may remember, United got back to 2-1 and then 3-2, but they conceded again within 5 minutes of both of those goals. They were 2 up and cruising in Copenhagen until Marcus Rashford was red-carded, and then they conceded twice in moments just before half-time. So the bad news for Manchester United is that they have conceded 11 goals in this group before tonight, and they tended to concede too many of them soon after scoring themselves.
So you're saying it's not over?
It's early days, but it's a tonic for Manchester United. And the man who's down there, Alejandro Garnacho. He did score for United in Europe last season, but that is the first in his first season in the Champions League.
So is Maria Sanchez having a word with him after scoring the goal to say, do not celebrate in front of the fans. He was stunned for a moment inside the stadium. But Manchester United, like Garnacho, just need to keep their heads.
He is bowing. Sliding in his Amrabat. Garnacho is back there with him. He will see out his defensive duties, the young winger. Manchester United have scored in every game in this group, but don't forget they've lost 3 of the 4 they've played so far. Mertens, scooped away by Anthony. Mertens again, another corner.
They've had 2 corners so far, aimed near post at Torreira both times. It's clearly a tactic with this zonal marking from Manchester United. Just hit it outside the zone. They know, as you say, Clive, they're not the biggest. They've got to do something different.
Into the Torreira again, and somehow kept out by Onana. There's appeals for handball, and Dombele fired it goalwards. Spanish referee's not clear. If it struck an arm, we have been seeing very, very strict application of the handball law in European football, and I think that will be given. I think that struck McTominay.
It's off the shin,
there.
The arm goes out. This will be given as a penalty. It was Torreira at the near post from a fantastic save for Onana at close range.
And has McTominay stopped a goal there? Will he be red carded? It's not a penalty yet, but I feel certain that the Spanish referee will be summoned to the monitor to look at that.
The arm is down by the side, but there is a movement.
No, carry on. Throw-in will be given. I'm amazed by that. We've seen almost a diversion from the way the law has been applied in European competitions. Certainly in the Premier League in England, they've been less strict. But when you think of the penalty given against Newcastle United last night in Paris Saint-Germain's favour, I am astonished that's not been given.
Well, if there's any consistency, that would have been given. This isn't the replay of it. That was a foul, but just a flinch from McTominay out towards the ball was enough in the interpretation from UEFA. But there we are.
Mertens will take the free kick. No, he's going to leave it, is he? No, it is Mertens. Touched on by Torreira. My own personal views are neither here nor there, but I do feel as if the current handball law is barely fit for purpose, and that far too many are being given, which are not deliberate. Icardi might get a chance here, almost presented to him by Onana. But in that climate, the climate that we've seen in the UEFA competitions, any contact with ball on arm in any kind of dangerous situation has been penalised.
And that's twice now from Onana as well, that there's been poor kicks from the hand. Maybe the conditions, but certainly fortunate with the first one, even more fortunate with that.
His team have conceded a penalty in all 4 group games they played before tonight. Maybe they were due a break. Certainly Rashford's red card in Copenhagen 3 weeks ago was particularly contentious. They lead by a goal to 0. Bruno Fernandes forward towards the goal scorer Garnacho. Cross comes Ihan.
In amongst all the controversy of the handball, or lack of it, there was a chance for Torreira, which was saved by Onana, which was a big save at the near post again.
Bruno Fernandes. Why not? Oh, why not? Oh, my word. Bruno Fernandes thunders Manchester United into a 2-goal lead. The captain scores on a night when they really needed him to score. He's not scored enough this season, but that's 3 in his last 5 games now. Cometh the hour and all that. What a hit!
What a goal from nowhere. Just takes a touch out his feet. The stadium stops and waits. Can he produce? And this is a strike of real quality. He knows what he needs to do, how he gets it up and down. Just that movement over through the ball is enough. It's a wonderful strike from Fernandes. It's a wonderful start for Manchester United.
It's only his 5th of the season, and 2 of the other 4 have come from the penalty spot. He scored 28 3 seasons ago. Scored 4 for his country, Portugal, this season, and now he's got 5 for Manchester United. And Manchester United have a 2-goal lead. But, they led 2-0 in Copenhagen.
You have to say, they have been under pressure at times. They rode their luck with the penalty shout, but it's 2 fantastic goals. 1 made by Bruno Fernandes, 1 assist. And then there's no assist in that. That's all his own work. Just a wonderful strike.
And talking of Copenhagen, they led 2-0 here against Galatasaray and didn't win. Icardi. Stopped by Maguire. All action starts. Ziyech running into traffic. Højlund contesting the ball. Manchester United have got something to defend now, playing with some relish. Anthony with a poor pass for Bruno Fernandes. It's another little byline, but Manchester United have visited Galatasaray's, well, complex really. This is where the old stadium was, the Ali Sami Yen, on 3 previous occasions and never scored. They've scored twice in the opening 20 minutes tonight. Ziyech, Torreira and Ndombele. Slipped into Ziyech. And Ndombele breaks the challenge. Comes from Mertens. Another flapped it in a bit, but did just about enough. Anthony. He'll try to run his way out of trouble. Torreira was late. Free kick has been given.
That's really good from Anthony. Recognised the space. Shown the pace and energy that we've very rarely seen in a Manchester United shirt since coming from Ajax. In this 20 minutes, he showed some real urgency.
This is first game for 2.5 weeks, his first start for 3.5 weeks. He's not played 90 minutes in Champions League or English Premier League all season for Manchester United. Alejandro Garnacho after 11 minutes, Bruno Fernandes after 18. Maguire thinks there's something wrong with the ball. Is there anything we haven't had in the first 20 minutes?
They're trying every trick to try and kill the atmosphere a bit, Manchester United. I think they need a few more goals to do that.
Bruno Fernandes trying to get Anthony moving again.
You can see, though, what Bruno Fernandes is trying to do. The space in behind Galatasaray defence is there. If they get that one pass right, they're in again.
Torreira. Bardacci. Mertens. Angelino. This is Ihan. Bowie. Ziyech. And Ndombele. They've worked this for Sacha Bowie. Oh. He did just about enough at the near post, Amrabat. It wasn't what he was trying to do, but it fell for Onana. It's been that kind of quarter for Manchester United.
It's all under control, Clive. It's a perfectly cultured, disguised back pass. Even the referee didn't see it.
One back by Bardacci. Torreira. And Ndombele. High hand. Fired in towards Mertens. The one thing he doesn't want is the ball in the air. Dries Mertens, 5'7", 5'7", full of talent, but not too much aerial threat. Well, there is the coach, Okan Buruk. He's a bit of a force of nature on the touchline. He demands energy and intensity from his players and displays plenty of both himself, sometimes a bit too much. He has been shown a couple of yellow cards during this qualifying group already, but he hasn't exactly been silenced by Manchester United's start. The stadium hasn't, but it could hardly have been better, Rob.
It's been an incredible start for Manchester United. Just that little opening from Højlund. Other than that, it's been the two strikes that they've had, the two chances that they've had, they struck from. There is that jeopardy still there.
Mertens. Angelino. Torreira. Mertens. Zaha. Clever turn. Icardi, not so clever. Straight to Højlund. He's bought himself a free kick. Joint leading scorer in this season's Champions League. Hasn't scored yet tonight.
See again that Mertens drifting. One-touch football, two-touch football. Angelino making the foul he knew, because that track back into his space was Bruno Fernandes disappearing into the distance.
Anthony. Wan-Bissaka. Maguire. Wan-Bissaka caught in possession initially by Zaha. Those two know each other so well, years together at Crystal Palace, both from the very same part of South London. Good friends, Wilfried Zaha and Aaron Wan-Bissaka, in direct opposition this evening. Bruno Fernandes into the path of Luke Shaw. Højlund is on the move here. Rasmus Højlund, it's Luke Shaw, and he couldn't quite control it, and Angelino jabbed it to safety.
It was brilliant from Højlund, and I don't think Luke Shaw was expecting it. I don't think he knew that Højlund was capable of that sort of pass. If he was, it could have been another strike and a really good opening.
It came to him at some velocity, as you say, with an element of surprise. Torreira. Too far for Icardi. He's been on the fringes of things so far, Mauro Icardi. And Manchester United, thus far, have defended pretty much as well as they've attacked. Anthony. Wan-Bissaka. Amrabat. McTominay has found space. Bruno Fernandes is in the box. Deflected cross falls kindly for Fernando Muslera. It's a breathless game. Torreira. Ziyech. Torreira's gone on here. Just clipped by Bruno Fernandes. That will be a yellow card for the Manchester United captain.
Well, he's not happy. He's not happy with his teammates. He's looking there to say to come to the ball. Why am I having to track back and trip my man? And we've got men spare at the back, but the space is opening up. You can see Amrabat there. That's his job, to cover that space, to block these runs.
I don't think you need to do too much cheerleading in this stadium, Lucas Torreira. Well, right of centre sits the left foot here of Hakim Ziyech. Still to score for Galatasaray in this competition.
Well, people have questioned his attitude since coming to the club and since signing for Chelsea. What you can't question, the ability on his left foot.
It's Ziyech, it's in, it's 2-1. Onana completely wrong-footed. Saw it late, but it went right past the Manchester United goalkeeper on his side of the goal. And Hakim Ziyech has halved the deficit, and we haven't had half an hour yet.
That's a huge error from Onana. It's a gamble. He guesses that he's going to go over the wall, and watch Onana in the goal. He goes early, steps across. But you've got to be brave. You've got to stand still in the goal and wait for it to go over the wall. He doesn't. He goes early. There's nothing on it. There's no touch. It goes in the middle of the goal. It's an early gamble from Onana. It's an error from Onana.
No touch, no excuse for the Manchester United goalkeeper. Ziyech's second goal for Galatasaray, his first in the Champions League for them. His 9th in the Champions League altogether. He actually scored in a semi-final for Erik ten Hag's Ajax in 2019, when his teammate was, yeah, you got it, Andre Onana. They know each other. How many free kicks will he have faced from Ziyech in training?
Every day. Every day he'd have taken them. He's got that ability. This will all games within games of 9 sets, and Ziyech would have known that. He's waited. You have a little glance at each other from 25 yards. What you don't want to do as a goalkeeper is second guess yourself. He's done that, and he's paid the price.
And within 11 minutes of establishing a 2-goal lead, Manchester United have conceded 12 goals now in the group.
It's a huge task now, because it's a long, long hour. And when you are 2 goals up, what you do is manage the game and you manage the mistakes.
Here's Zaha. Deflection didn't fall kindly for Galatasaray. One back by Bardacci, Torreira. Here's Ziyech. Onana gets everything behind that. He made bad errors in the first 2 Champions League games. One of them against Galatasaray at Old Trafford led to the red card for Casemiro in that game. He's actually kept clean sheets in his last 2 games for Manchester United, 3 in the last 4 matches. Made some good saves at Everton on Sunday, but that was just an error of judgment.
He was the hero against Copenhagen.
Ziyech.
He hasn't looked comfortable tonight, just from his kicking, his distribution. He made that one save, but it does play on your mind when you're playing. If one thing goes wrong, then it compounded by another missed kick. And all of a sudden, you're playing in your head, you're trying to get ahead of yourself. He's certainly done that on the free kick.
And football's never quite as simple as it sounds, but when a goalkeeper erects a wall of players, it's to guard one side of his goal, so that basically he only has to keep the other side of his goal. And it was that side, Onana's side, in which he was beaten.
Yep. And it buys you that little bit of time, and that little bit of time allows you to stand still if it does go over the wall. What you've got to make sure is that it does go over the wall. It didn't do that. He's just doubted himself for a second, knows the quality of Ziyech.
Second-guessed his former Ajax teammate and second-guessed him wrong. Sacha Boey with the throw. Dries Mertens. Defended well by Shaw. Galatasaray's record in this stadium in Turkish League football is absolutely emphatic. Haven't lost to a team from their own country for 15 months, and they gave Bayern a real scare here last month. 20 goal attempts. They were drawing with Munich with 20 minutes of both of their group games to go, but they got Harry Kane in the closing stages of each of those. But they are a handful, there's no doubt about that, particularly here.
They've had their own moments of what could have been in this group. What you didn't need is an away team 2 goals up, just to give them that little lift. They got that, and they know, this home crowd knows that this team will just keep going.
Torreira and Ndombele. Angelino, Zaha. Managed to retain possession under pressure from McTominay. No foul. Bruno Fernandes, you can get up now. That's a really good ball too to Garnacho. Bowie kept his eye on the ball that time. Tanguy Ndombele, still to really make his mark here at Galatasaray. Hakim Ziyech has made his mark tonight. Sasha Bowie, always run away from Lindelof. Bowie, cut back towards Zaha. Wan-Bissaka got to it. It's Wilf Zaha again. And Harry Maguire had to make the block.
Well, it was brilliant from Bowie initially. Really poor from Manchester United. Had the chance to clear. Zaha on his weaker foot, never looks comfortable. Striking with his left. Didn't get it right. Maguire managing to step in to save the day.
Corner kick. Ziyech. Mertens. Oh, kept out by Onana. I think there's a flag up against Daihan. It wouldn't have counted anyway.
Whether he got a touch or not, it's a fantastic save. He is offside. Even if he hadn't have touched it, it would have been counted as offside.
Yeah, it was right in the goalkeeper's eye line. And so interfering with Onana's ability to make a save, but he made the save that time. The only numbers that really matter are up at the top left-hand corner of your screen. Manchester United 2 up here in 18 minutes through Garnacho and Fernandes, but conceding to Hakim Ziyech's free kick after 29 minutes. Amrabat. Wan-Bissaka. McTominay on the charge, corner kick.
35 minutes into the game, and Manchester United saying Onana hasn't been comfortable with his kicking. That's the first time he's just told the team to get up and let's go long. And it looked better from Manchester United. They could pick up the second balls.
That goal that Fernandes scored was his first in open play in the Champions League for 3 years. He'll take the corner. It might fall for Lindelof. It's hooked away though by Bardacci. Oh, where are you going? Onana knew exactly what he was doing. That's some pass. Bruno Fernandes. It's come from McTominay. It's another corner. He's a strange mix of moods, isn't he, Andre Onana? Sometimes supremely confident. Other times he gives you the jitters.
In my 800 games of playing in Premier League football, I never dreamed of doing that in the centre circle.
Bruno Fernandes will take this corner. McTominay! He'll be a bit disappointed with that.
Yeah, free header, just couldn't get over it. Actually thought he was going to play the ball, cut it back across, but decided to leave it for the corner. do have that advantage with himself. Maguire, Lindelof in there.
And he's looked a goal scorer this season, 3 for Manchester United. He scored 7 goals for Scotland this year. Wan-Bissaka heading back home. Onana will take his time, we know that. Maguire, Wan-Bissaka. So much jeopardy on this game. Victory for Galatasaray will guarantee them European football in the new year in one competition or the other, put them in a strong position to qualify for the last 16 in the Champions League. Muslera taking a leaf out of his opposite numbers book and coming way off limits.
Again, it's just that one ball, that one straight ball over the defence. You need a willing runner.
Victory for Manchester United could just put their Champions League fate back in their own hands. They would be waiting anxiously and hoping that Bayern Munich would deal with Copenhagen later this evening, but there is so much riding on the result of this match. Torreira getting a foot to the ball. Icardi getting his head to the ball. He's gone for goal here. Mauro Icardi. It's play has been brought back, don't worry. The game has been stopped. There's a late challenge on Anthony that's been penalised.
Every challenge all over the pitch. It's been pressurised, it's been slightly late at times.
And I think Anthony's upward movement was of his own volition, shall we say. The vertical takeoff winger. 5 minutes of the half to go. Space for Anthony. Headed away by Torreira. Hit by Garnacho. Charged down by Ziyech. Won by Maguire. Bowie to clear. Shaw. There's just no time on the ball. This time Hakim Ziyech has been penalised for a foul on Luke Shaw.
It's been played at such a ferocious pace. This game that you wonder how long they can last for like this. 5 minutes to go.
It'll be a tough one for Luke Shaw. He returned from injury at the weekend, his first game for 100 days. Managed 75 minutes in that match. Now a yellow card for Sacha Bowie. Garnacho felt that.
So you can't go through the back of any player. Even still, this game just seems like a five-a-side pitch all over the pitch. Just everyone closing down, harrying, pressing. And it can change in a blink of an eye.
He had a bit of a hack at the calf of the young Argentine international. And Sacha Bowie is yellow carded. This is second of this group stage, Bowie. Shaw. And Maguire's been penalised. Pick on somebody your own size. Harry Maguire and Angelino. There's about 2 meters between them in height. It's like somebody from the dad's match had bumped into one of the boys playing on the next pitch.
It's not for the first time Harry Maguire's given away a foul and he doesn't know why.
Bruno Fernandes. My hand's got it back. And Icardi's in here, and there's no flag. Mauro Icardi, 2-2. Now the flag goes up. Now the flag goes up. The assistant did the right thing. He wasn't absolutely certain, wanted to see how it played out. And this is going to be checked. And I tell you what, it's a bit closer than I thought it was. This might be a goal, you know.
Well, it's Mertens in front of Lindelof that blinds the referee's assistant. He can't make the decision. He doesn't know. It's tight. To the naked eye, it's tight. To that initial replay, it's tight. Icardi, it's a great touch. And a great finish.
It's been checked by the VAR and the goal does not stand. Wasn't a lot in that.
No. The semi-automated reviews of 4 offside that UEFA use eliminates any human error in it.
That doesn't mean the coach won't question it. Well, we've all got technology which works better some days than others. Well, what a start to your afternoon or morning with us here on Paramount Plus. It's decision time now in these Champions League group stages. Two teams playing for their lives in the competition, and it's there for all to see how much it means to them. Maguire won it cleanly. And Zaha might argue. Just getting up now. Bardacci trying to slip it into Zaha. At the second attempt, he almost did so. Built for handball, hit by Icardi. And eventually the referee has taken some advice and given the free kick to Manchester United.
Must have been a word in his ear, because the game stopped momentarily. Wasn't sure why. There's clearly a handball in the end by Zaha.
But just the 2 added minutes coming, which is quite quaint, really, in the contemporary era. We've become used to 7 and 10 and 15 minutes of overtime at the end of halves. Foul by Amrabat. Yellow cards out for Sofyan Amrabat.
Slightest of contacts, but studs are up, foot's high. But Amrabat on the front foot, that's what Manchester United needing to do more. Not the booking bit, but the aggressive in defence.
Driven in towards the head of Icardi, finds the head of Maguire. Bardacci. A little lull at the very end of the half. It's just about the first we've seen. Both teams have been at it from the first whistle. Manchester United stormed into a 2-goal lead from that first whistle. That's how close Icardi was to being onside in that last moment when he thought he might have equalised. But Manchester United led by 2-0. Garnacho and Fernandes. Ziyech's free kick slithered past Onana to halve the deficit. And this is a match which could still go either way. But at the break in Istanbul, it's Galatasaray 1, Manchester United 2.
This match is brought to you by Heineken. And Turkish Airlines, UEFA Champions League official sponsors.
got it. They were singing, they were chanting. It was like being at some sort of comedy in a way, wasn't it? But the fans obviously are playing a big part in boosting Galatasaray and pushing them forward. And Peter's feeling confident in Manchester United, but I'm not so much, to be honest. They let the lead go twice, didn't they, in that first leg? So let's see what they can do in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, Peter, Manchester United have no alternative but to go for the win in this game. And anything less than a win is just a nightmare result.
You know, sometimes it's easier to play football and important games when you have to win. You know, you've got no other option to go out there and try your very best. The team's working really, really hard. It's brilliant to sit and watch young players like Garnacho really working his socks off. Bruno Fernandes been under some criticism lately for the way that he's a captain. When you look at the game from not a television screen, you can see how hard he works, how much he helps his team, and you know, he's gone out there leading his team. Hey, it's still 2-1 Manchester United. They're still doing what they need to do, and all they have to do is just get a little bit of grip again off the game, and they will be good. I'm absolutely sure about that.
Pete, I'm told that those microphones cost $1,000 a piece, so if you wouldn't mind awfully, we would love you to go and collect the microphone that you just kicked across the thing.
I didn't kick it. I dropped it, and my technique made it fall very nicely just there.
So you've got it. Classy. Always got a class touch, Peter. Thank you so much. Good to see you both.
I got it.
Okay, if you are watching, sorry, Peter, to interrupt you. If you're watching on Paramount Plus, everybody, we're going to get you out to the second half of Manchester United, but here on, I assume we're on CBS Sports Network, and we're so many places, it's hard to keep up sometimes where we are. We are going to, we're going to go to a break, is what we're going to do. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thanks for sticking with me, everybody. We're going to go to a very short break. We'll be right back in just a minute. See you in a second, everybody.
It's the BetMGM offer of the week. Get up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. For all the games, in the right place. It's the BetMGM offer of the week. Get up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win.
In Munich.
Geico makes car insurance easy.
Say when.
As easy as loving Parmesan.
Say when. Say when. Say when. When.
Fresh ground pepper?
Oh, yes, please.
With 24/7 emergency roadside service, it's easy to Geico.
Oh, can we get a box?
People who come to Cricket stay with Cricket.
My family loves going foraging by our farm. And with Cricket, we can mark our locations, post photos, even identify mushrooms.
Don't have to look far for a good deal. Smile, you're on Cricket.
From the beginning, we've dreamed of creating a better future. Now, we're setting out to be carbon neutral by 2050. And we're gonna keep dreaming, no matter where we go.
If your business needs a new application, then developers will have to write code. A lot of code. If an application needs to be modernized, then you'll need time, resources, and caffeine. If this sounds daunting, then use Watson X Code Assistant. AI designed to multiply developer productivity so you can generate code quickly. Let's create a more modern foundation for business with Watson X Code Assistant. IBM, let's create.
At Jiffy Lube, it's our job to make sure you stay on top of what's under your hood. With personalized service reminders and transparent pricing on My Jiffy Lube, we help you take care of the small stuff before it becomes big stuff. Putting you in the driver's seat of car care, that's a job for Jiffy.
Right now on PetSmart.com, save an extra 20% off site-wide with code CYBER20, so you can make merry memories with the ones you love. PetSmart, anything for pets.
This match is brought to you by Heineken. And Turkish Airlines, UEFA Champions League official sponsors.
6,000 miles due east of Miami. We are in Istanbul. Miami seems to be the centre of the football world right now. Messi town, true soccer city. Not only is it home to the GOAT and entertaining some of the biggest names, and indeed biggest mouths in the game this week, but Miami Gardens is now getting ready to host the Copa America final next summer. The draw's a week tomorrow. Hard Rock Stadium will also be a World Cup venue in 26, and the US will stage FIFA's Club World Cup in the summer of 25. I don't think the venues for that have been revealed as yet, but you'd imagine they want to dry run some of the World Cup stadia, so that might be in Miami too. You can join the boys and girls on Champions League Today on the Sports Network and listen to their chat, or you can remain with Rob Green and I here in Istanbul. The second half of Galatasaray 2, Manchester United 1. Galatasaray 1, Manchester United 2. Twice Manchester United scored in those opening 20 minutes through Alejandro Garnacho and Bruno Fernandes, but Hakim Ziyech's free kick has tipped the game back into the balance. Rob, it would be difficult to second-guess where this is going now.
Well, it was a breathless first half, wasn't it? From start to finish, and expecting more of the same, because the way Galatasaray go about it, the way that they pressed and harried Manchester United, it's left themselves exposed. That one ball, when they can get it through Manchester United, they've had chances.
Angelino's cross turned away by Maguire.
But the amount of bodies that Galatasaray have got forward, gone through Mertens, what's made of them tick. Ziyech has been drifting. Boy, he's getting forward from right back. The spaces, the opportunities have been there for both teams. It's who can capitalise and who doesn't tire, because the game has been played at such a ferocious pace.
Maguire reacquainting himself with Mauro Icardi. Okan Buruk does have some interesting options on his bench tonight. His team have won a free kick. Karamar Aktakolu was a likely starter. He's waiting literally in the wings. They have the very talented Brazilian forward Tete also, so he can change things up as the half goes on.
See there, that's Angelino in the midfield. He's the left back getting forward. Just shows how many bodies they're getting forward and the problem that Amrabat's got around him.
Ziyech. Header is by Lindelof. Miscue by Garnacho. Mertens. This is Bowie. Now Ziyech. It's crossed in and into the side netting from Ihan. Both of the centre-backs had stayed forward there. And Manchester United had their hands full defending the cross, and Ihan got to it first.
That's really clever from Mertens. He knew that that was the space, that was the area to hit. Getting across the near post, that's where the opportunities are. But when you do get across the near post, that's when it makes the finish that bit harder. And even harder when you're a centre-half.
Manchester United have lost 9 times already this season, beaten in nearly half the games they played, 9 defeats in 19. Conceded 3 or more goals in 7 of those matches, 4 in Munich, 4 in Copenhagen. Once more, they seem to be in a sound position here tonight, leading by 2 goals to 0. Seem to have doused the Galatasaray fires, only to almost invite their opponents back into the game by conceding such a cheap goal.
Think of the pressure that they were under, and then how they have conceded. Going to be kicking themselves at half-time to say that was half a job well done. To being in the balance all over again, as you say, Clive.
Ndombele just eased under the ball by Bruno Fernandes, no foul. And toss rather aimlessly forward by Onana. He's given it away. Shaw. Bruno Fernandes knew he was offside, but Garnacho's okay. Shaw. McTominay's in there. So too was Højlund. The cross just a little too high for either of them. There's a collision there between Angelino and Antony.
That's a really good opportunity for Manchester United. Luke Shaw on the ball. Again, the body's in the box. Had 2-on-1 there. Just needed Højlund to hold his position.
And we're about to be fouled. McTominay. Bruno Fernandes just questioning his teammates' decision to take a quick free kick. Why do we want to get on with it? Just remind me.
Game management. It's all in the mind.
Bruno Fernandes. His captaincy credentials have been questioned almost from the moment he was given the armband. Not because of his ability, but maybe because of his temperament. And he said yesterday in the media briefing he feels as if he's been targeted a little bit. He was making the right decisions there. Antony to Wan-Bissaka. Antony. McTominay was calling for it for a long time and Antony delayed. Bruno Fernandes, Antony, Wan-Bissaka. Antony lifted into the path of Bruno Fernandes. 4 white shirts in the middle. Muslera wasn't at all convincing.
I don't know whether he shot Bruno Fernandes, but it certainly looked like Muslera was struggling to deal with the cross of backpedaling into the goal.
Bowie running free. Needed the cover from Victor Lindelof. It's almost as if half-time hasn't happened. The game just picked up in the same gear that it left off.
It's a mishit cross, almost catching up Muslera.
They're the worst kind, aren't they, the mishit ones? If he didn't mean it, how am I supposed to know what's happening? Ziyech takes. Heads important by Maguire. Right in front of his goalkeeper. A free kick to Manchester United. He had to watch from the grandstand at Goodison Park on Sunday. Eric Ten Hag, English Premier League disciplinary measure, but it maybe offered him some respite from the touchline torment. The press conference questions are getting ever more pointed for the Manchester United manager. His win percentage is actually the best of any Manchester United manager, 63%. It It just doesn't seem like it somehow.
Well, they've been winning, but in unconvincing manner.
And they haven't been drawing games this season. They've either been winning or losing. Play on, says the referee. Bowie was eased under the ball. Garnacho. And that's a goal kick. And that's a yellow card for Ihan for dissent. He felt there should have been a foul way back in the move. It's only the 6th Champions League game that Jose Maria Sanchez has taken charge of. He's had his hands full just by the tempo and energy in the game. That was a rather perilous back pass by Maguire.
It has felt like that. It felt like every tackle's been on a knife edge, every opportunity to get a foot in. Every pass has been contested.
There's confirmation of Karnai Han's yellow card. This is second of the group stage. 3 adds up to a suspension. McTominay to Anthony. This is Wan-Bissaka. Look at the support. McTominay, 3-2. 3-1, I should say. Scott McTominay jabs it in. Terrific counter-attack. Anthony got his timings all right there. Sometimes he doesn't always release the ball at the best time, but he spotted McTominay's run. And Scott McTominay is scoring goals like at no stage in his career at the moment.
Well, he's a man in form, and a man in form has given them breathing space. It's just a willingness to bomb on. He recognises the overload, he recognises the danger, he finds the space. It's a brilliant finish. Talking about getting beyond the near post, he does that, but he angles it to perfection. Wan-Bissaka with the weighted pass. Much like in the first half, Manchester United stunned the crowd early on.
It's his first goal in the Champions League, but he has looked like a goal scorer this season. That's 4 for Manchester United. Another one disallowed a couple of weeks ago through no fault of his own. 7 in his last 10 Scotland internationals. And Scott McTominay gives Manchester United that 2-goal breathing space again. Here is the goal scorer. Manchester United tried to sell him in the summer. He's one of the first names on the team sheet at the moment. Anthony. His release to Wan-Bissaka was really important there. It just left the overlapping fullback with one job to do, just play it in low and hard. I think he's tackled himself in that instance. Manchester United are looking to freshen things up. Number 9 on the right is Anthony Martial, and on the left there in the foreground, Kobbie Mainoo is about to make his first European appearance, 18 years of age.
Look at Manchester United, much like they didn't do in the first half, to get a handle on the game, to really settle it down. Now they have that 2-goal advantage.
Garnacho might be offside here. Muslera deals with it, flag is up.
Question marks have been over Højlund, who wasn't fit for the weekend, how long he would last.
Sofian Amrabat, who is one of the 2 Manchester United players on a yellow card, is giving way to Kobbie Mainoo. He's 18, he's from the Manchester area, and he produced 72 minutes of composed class on Sunday at Everton in his full Premier League debut. This is only his 5th senior appearance coming up. Erik ten Hag said yesterday, if you're good enough, you're old enough, and Mainoo looked good enough at the weekend. Really eye-catching performance. And Anthony Martial, who's had only 15 minutes of Champions League action himself this season, will take over from Rasmus Højlund, so no addition to his Champions League tally tonight. But Martial scored the 3rd Manchester United goal at the weekend, actually won the penalty for the 2nd goal too, and it was a delicious dink of a finish, just reminding us how much talent he's got.
Well, that's unquestionable. When he's in form, it's how long he's going to be in form. But Kobbie Mainoo, as you say, Clive, he gave a really composed performance, and that's what they need tonight in that midfield, is composure. They need composure on the ball, they need composure off the ball. That's real backing from the manager with half an hour to go to get that substitution.
Martial finding Anthony. Held up by Bardacci. Martial, Anthony, Martial. Wan-Bissaka. Can Manchester United keep a lid on this game? Now they lead 3-1. Little rash from Shaw. Yellow card for Luke Shaw.
Luke Shaw, as soon as he didn't win the ball, knew. But again, slows that counter-attack down, slows the attack down.
Changes for Galatasaray. Sergio Oliveira will come on for Tanguy Ndombele, who hasn't had a lot of football this season in midfield. And the other change sees Kerem Aktürkoğlu take over from Dries Mertens. Aktürkoğlu will occupy the same spot just off Icardi in that kind of number 10 role in the centre.
A bit more direct than Dries Mertens, will look to get up alongside Icardi. You can see the sense in it. They need a goal, they need direction, they need purpose now. Feels like the game is drifting along away from Galatasaray.
And Manchester United just want to win this game, but a 2-goal winning margin would also be significant. Remember, Galatasaray beat them at Old Trafford at the start of last month by a single goal. And so if it comes down to a head-to-head between Manchester United and Galatasaray, Manchester United would edge it. They already have the edge over Copenhagen in that respect, having scored more goals in Copenhagen than the Danish champions managed in Manchester. Here's Mainu. McTominay caught in possession. Icardi spread out to Bowie. Sacha Bowie has ridden the challenge. Down goes Ziyech, free kick. Bruno Fernandes got to watch himself on a yellow card.
Can't hide his frustration. It's barely a touch, just a flick of the leg, but only takes one or two more of those.
It's Aktürkoğlu, who's right-footed, Ziyech is left-footed. It's Ziyech, swung towards goal again, and another! Has spilled another! Ziyech has beaten him again! It is another calamity for the Manchester United goalkeeper. Twice his team have taken a 2-goal lead, and twice now he's let them down and allowed Hakim Ziyech to bring Galatasaray back into the match.
Well, again, he's brought them back into the game, and again it's an error, and Onana just had to wait until the ball had cleared the defenders, wait until it got over the heads. It's just Martial ducking under the ball, knew that it get through to Onana. Onana had to wait, he's thrown a fist at it almost. Not got the right contact, it's come off the wrist, and it's come at an incredible price for him, for the team, because they were cruising in this second half. Galatasaray been given another lifeline by the goalkeeper.
And again, Manchester United concede within 10 minutes of scoring. It's almost self-harm.
Yeah, it's a difficult one for a goalkeeper, but what you have to do is go with the moment to say, well, no one's going to get a touch on the ball, and if they do, I'll try and react. And he didn't, he waited. Maybe after not waiting for the previous Ziyech free kick, he's waited for this and waited too long. Again, throwing an arm at it, a fist at it, rather than dropping down on the ball. It's unconventional. It didn't work.
Wan-Bissaka with a foul this time. Wan-Bissaka with a yellow card this time. It is still pouring down here, so the top surface is slick, and once it bounced in front of Andre Onana, he just couldn't quite sort himself out to get enough behind it to stop its progress into his goal.
With the slickness, you use two hands, you get two hands on the ball, you don't take a chance. He's taken a chance there, and now Manchester United really living on a knife edge, really.
Kolu with the right foot probably this time. Curled in towards Onana, headed away by Martial this time. That's what Onana wanted him to do last time. Mistake by Muslera on this occasion, but not one from which Garnacho can profit.
It's poor from Koglu. The one thing you do there is get it to the goal, aim at the goalkeeper, get it on target, because you never know what's going to happen.
This is Manchester United's 5th game in this group. They've been beaten 4-3 in 2 games and been beaten 3-2 by Galatasaray at Old Trafford. And now they lead 3-2. But that tends to suggest the goal scoring might not be finished. Wan-Bissaka's done well considering, but now he's lost out to Zaha. Jabbed into the path of Kolu. And Onana hangs on at the second attempt.
Another opening. Thought the pass was on to Angelino. You can see how slippery, how wet it is for Onana. Just got to make sure of everything for the next 25 minutes.
Manchester United led 2-0 after 20 minutes. They led 3-1 after 10 minutes of this second half. Wan-Bissaka doing just enough. Here's Mauro Icardi trying to feed it into Kolu. Anthony. Bruno Fernandes. Running free was Garnacho.
We'll see more and more of that as the game goes on, as the minutes tick by. Galatasaray committing bodies forward, committing numbers, leaving themselves open at the back.
And Erik ten Hag doesn't have quite the resources on the bench that he would like to have. Marcus Rashford suspended. Martinez, Mount, Eriksson, Casemiro all injured.
Attacking options aren't really the order of the day for them. It's who can give some order, some defensive stability.
Muslera scoops it away towards Bowie. They've done well to play their way out of this press, and suddenly Torreira is running free here. And he's got 4 in support. Look at Bowie streaking into the box. It's Ziyech! Oh! Icardi put Onana under pressure, but the goalkeeper kept that out. Yeah, offside.
Oh, it's breathtaking stuff from Galatasaray. Manchester United pressing the length of the pitch. Galatasaray working their way up the pitch. And from there, Icardi offside. Onana injured in the save. You can hear the whistles. That's for Onana getting treatment, his hamstring.
Well, if Manchester United do have to go to their substitute goalkeeper, he is a Turkish international. And last season, he was the captain of Galatasaray's greatest rivals, Fenerbahce. What a welcome he would get. It looked as if he might need to play in the game when Onana got injured on international duty with Cameroon last week, but he recovered from that, well, after a fashion anyway.
There's one thing worse than playing on a wet night in front of a hostile crowd, and that's having to come on as substitute as a goalkeeper
for your Manchester United debut. Anyway, Onana is still with us. And Galatasaray is still in the game. Bowie. Ziyech. Ihan. Torreira. Bardacci. Looking for Angelino, finding Zaha via Wan-Bissaka. Wilfried Zaha. Return pass is just a little too long from Aktakolu. Both teams straining every sinew. You've got to feel the next goal in this game is going to be critical, but we've been saying that all night.
Oh, I can know for sure is both teams are just going to keep on going for it because they can't rely on themselves to not concede anymore.
Lindelof back to his goalkeeper, who somehow keeps his composure in all that's happening around him. Mainu the same. On by Bruno Fernandes. Luke Shaw forward towards Anthony Martial. Ihan. Ziyech. Aktakolu has gathered that in. What a goal that is. It's 3-3. The substitute Kerem Aktakolu comes on and pulls Galatasaray back on terms. We've still got 20 minutes. Where on earth is this game going? It was a mighty hit, but Onana has been on his near post.
It's a wonder strike, it's a wonder game. It's a brilliant run. From there, he's got an inch. Mainu tracking back with him, thinks he's got it covered. Onana stepping across. Aktakolu, he knows Onana's inches out of position. Knows he hasn't stepped far enough across. Proves his point, comes off the bench, comes up with a massive goal for Galatasaray.
It's his first goal for them since the win at Old Trafford at the start of last month. He'd actually gone 8 club games without a goal. But here's an opportunity for Garnacho at the other end. Just overruns the ball. He'll have been disappointed not to have started, Aktakolu. He's not disappointed now. Bowie. Ziyech. Icardi's there, headed away by Maguire. Bowie. Sergio Oliveira. Onana fields that one.
Well, he's not fit. Onana's not fit. The raining strikes down on him now. He's struggling, limping in his goal. I had the feeling that Manchester United might struggle through the next 20 minutes.
It's a terrible dilemma for Erik ten Hag. I mean, because he hasn't given any field time to Altay Bayindir, there've been a couple of domestic cup ties in which sometimes the shadow goalkeeper gets some experience. He's new to the club. He is an international. He was Turkey's goalkeeper for their victory over Germany in Berlin 10 days ago. But would he bring him on in these circumstances? Apparently not. Martial trying to smuggle it through to Bruno Fernandes' offside anyway.
It feels just tactics have been limited supply tonight. It's just both teams just going for it. Both teams just up against each other, head to head. It's been fantastic entertainment. It's been at times questionable defending, certainly questionable goalkeeping.
And the Ali Sami Yen is literally jumping. Galatasaray 2 down, 3-1 down, 3-3. The group of goals came from 2 down here with 2 late goals to draw with Copenhagen in their opening fixture in the group. They've found 3 tonight. And Manchester United have conceded 3 again for the 8th time this season. 3 or more goals. 4 in Munich, 4 in Copenhagen, and now 3 in Istanbul, and counting.
You have to Say there's times as an away team you have to make the opposition work for their goals. You have to make them have a mount of attack after attack after attack, and finally you might break and you have to withstand that pressure. But Manchester United just seem incapable of that at times.
Sergio Oliveira, Mauro Icardi, Martial back there helping out. A draw would not knock Manchester United out of the Champions League, but it would leave their fate in other people's hands. Here's Sacha Boey. Manchester United are wide open. It's fallen for Torreira. He's cleared by Wan-Bissaka, more than cleared. He's found Garnacho. Now can he get clear? No. Ziyech it is chasing him back.
How much energy do these players have left? Because this is just keeps on going from end to end. Opportunities. Can anybody capitalise in the next 15 minutes?
Such a premium on winning this match. Bruno Fernandes jabbed into the path of Garnacho. Manchester United have got men over if he can get his head up. Still Garnacho. Went for glory himself. Might have been better choices. Certainly earlier in the move there were.
You'd have thought Bowie had done his job there. Ushered Garnacho away, but it's just the run of Luke Shaw. Bought him that half a yard. Wasn't far, but the options in the box were the better options.
Lindelof's header, Luke Shaw. Martial, clever. McTominay. Scott McTominay, that's not far away either.
Well, it's 4v3 from nothing, and from that man, for that chance, it's a big chance. He should be hitting the target, he should do better. With his form, he doesn't strike it well enough. But again, without hardly making many passes, they get another glorious opportunity.
I'm not sure a draw serves either cause, really. Galatasaray would qualify if they won in Copenhagen in 2 weeks' time with a draw in this match, so their fate would still be in their own hands. Here's Angelino. But they must feel now they can win it. Ziyech. Boey. There's a little bit too much on it for Atakolu. Diogo Dalot on the left and Facundo Pellistri on the right. It's the end of the night for Garnacho. And Pellistri is a natural replacement for him. He's playing regularly for Uruguay at the moment, not so regularly for Manchester United, just 20 minutes from the bench on Sunday, only his second appearance in September. And Dalot will come on at right back for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And probably a better attacking option. Anthony. Done well to retain the ball. Anthony. Dalot just arrived in the game. Diogo Dalot. And Pellistri, who's just arrived too. Almost benefited.
Again, it's good from Anthony. Good quick feet. Again, it's only 2-3 passes, bouncing through tackles, bouncing through bodies.
In the midst of all of this, this is as good as I've seen Anthony play for Manchester United this season.
It's 80 minutes into the game and still full of running. We've seen him this season barely get out of second gear.
Well, I say he's not completed 90 minutes in Champions League or English Premier League. He's going to tonight. Here is Anthony. Pellistri. Got underneath it, but it was another very good shooting chance.
Well, since it's gone to 3-3, you thought Galatasaray would have had the opportunities, the momentum, but no, it's been Manchester United, and there's been enough chances to win this game in the last 10 minutes for Manchester United.
Strong header by Lindelof, who was just caught there. Torreira. It's just not in the nature of this Galatasaray team, but I just wonder whether a draw is not a bad outcome for them, bearing in mind the way this game is going. You know, Manchester United really need to win it, and will carry on looking for a winner. But a draw would leave Galatasaray a point ahead of Manchester United at the end of the night. They would then have to hope that Copenhagen lose in Munich to Bayern. But if they did, you know, Galatasaray would have their fate very much in their own hand. A draw in the final match, or a win in the final match, would be enough for them. In danger of chasing the game and losing it.
Yeah, well, I just think it's in their DNA. The manager, Boruk, just talks about winning. Winning being the only option. They will just keep going for it. They will keep leaving spaces at the back.
Luke Shaw. He's lasted the pace really well. Pellistri. Showed Boe what he was doing there. Atakolu. Pellistri got back and atoned. Menu. He's mature beyond his years, he really is. Shaw finding Pellistri. Bruno Fernandes finding Pellistri. Three in support. Facundo Pellistri going alone. And he was caught in two minds. He had Fernandes and Martial and Anthony with him.
Edge of the box. You see there, coming into your picture,
Dalot was in there too.
Dalot, McTominay off the screen. Was the option at the edge of the box. He had options everywhere.
So we're going to see Barış Yilmaz and Victor Nelson for Galatasaray. Ziyech, who's scored 2 of their 3 goals, will leave us. Yilmaz will be a replacement for him. Versatile forward, he's played in every game this season, the majority from the bench. But he's a current international with Turkey. And Victor Nelson, the 6 feet 1 inch Danish international, will replace Angelino, with Bardacci switching to left back.
Same shape, different personnel moving across. Bardacci maybe gives them a bit more of a steadier footing in defence to see them through this last 10 minutes. They've needed it
a bit more.
or it's just a different person to go forward.
Just a bit more energy. The draw is barely good enough for Manchester United. If Copenhagen were to win in Munich later, Manchester United would be out of the Champions League tonight. If they don't win in Munich later, Manchester United would still have a chance, but they'd need Copenhagen and Galatasaray to draw in 2 weeks' time, and you know, you're waiting on others, and they would still have to beat Bayern Munich themselves at Old Trafford. So a Manchester United goal changes all of that.
The chances they've created in the last 10-15 minutes, you'd say They've got to fancy themselves to create another one at least in the next 10 minutes, and that's a better chance tonight of winning the game than maybe 90 minutes against Bayern Munich.
Controlled by Bowie. Zaha using his considerable strength to protect the ball and find space, and Wilfried Zaha and straight at Onana. Former Manchester United player, remember, Wilf Zaha.
It was a glorious chance, it was really well worked, and it's a poor finish from Zaha.
Anthony releases Dallo. Pulled back to Bruno Fernandes. Oh, he's hit a post. He smashed one past Muslera in the first half. The goalkeeper was beaten again, but not his post.
Well, he's done it once, and the world waited. It felt like an eternity to pick his spot. Just didn't have the same trajectory as the strike on goal in the first half. Didn't have the same outcome. Tiny margins.
Zaha straight at the goalkeeper at one end. Fernandes straight at the upright in the other. Foul by Shaw.
There's still enough in it. Tired bodies, tired minds. I'm thinking now, it might be a mistake. It might be one pass.
Is there one more goal in this goal fest? Aktakolu, headers by Maguire. Sergio Oliveira keeps it alive. Wilf Zaha, Zaha again.
He's been quiet tonight. Well, he's now had two chances. Dallo, you know where he's going to go. You know what he wants to do. Show him down the line.
Let me just assure you, this game is live. This is not a highlights reel you're watching. And this is not basketball. This has got an NBA feel to it. You attack, we attack.
There's no questioning the players' fitness. Wondering about our fitness, Clive.
Well, thankfully, it doesn't go to extra time. What a tackle that is by McTominay. And here's Bruno Fernandes again. Trying to divert it towards Anthony, felt he was fouled. Torreira. Bowie, who wasn't defending his flank, can come forward instead. Barry Shieldmaz. Sergio Oliveira. It's opened up for him. And he was looking for Icardi. Manchester United's turn. Menu. McTominay. Bruno Fernandes jabbed into the path. Of Martial. Here's Shaw. Palistri. Bruno Fernandes. Thought about it, flicked on by Shaw. Chance for Martial! Hooked away by Torreira. Still Bruno Fernandes. Blocked by Nelson. Palistri. McTominay! And Bruno Fernandes had the best chance.
A hat-trick of chances. None of them taken by Manchester United. Thinking Martial had done so well to work his feet into the space, into the opportunity.
Zaha will walk off. Kerem Demirbay, the 30-year-old former German international, will come on in his place. Haven't seen much of him in recent weeks. It's a bit more of a defensive option. He's more of a central midfield player. Now, I've talked about Manchester United's ongoing failure to leave their mark on this competition since their last final in 2011. They played in 2 Europa League finals since then, 3 semi-finals, but you know, I was looking through some of the places they've suffered European defeats on their travels in recent times. Basel and Bern, Athens, Eindhoven, Wolfsburg, Copenhagen earlier this month. Here in Istanbul to Başakşehir 3 years ago. There are no easy trips in UEFA competition, but you've got to be winning at some of these places to move back into the elite group of contenders. And Manchester United needed to win tonight. They've had chances to win, chances to shut up shop after they've taken 2-goal advantages, and they haven't been up to it so far.
When you look at it, if you ask Ten Hag, how many chances do you want to create? How many do you want to limit your opposition to?
McTominay trying to get there. Muslera does. I think McTominay caught him. Muslera does. This is Sergio Oliveira. Huge sways of open field for him to run into. Aktakolu. Can't find Icardi. Nobody can find Icardi tonight. Bruno Fernandes. Anthony Martial. This is Scott McTominay. Anthony. It's Diogo Dalot. Oh, almost an own goal by Torreira. Pellistri. What a save. What a save. Pellistri denied by his fellow countryman, Fernando Muslera. Denied what was surely a winning goal.
It's an incredible moment of football that encapsulates this game. It was nearly an own goal, a poor clearance, a wonderful save. It had everything other than the final goal of the game, and there still might be more.
Young Uruguayan denied by veteran Uruguayan. Barry Yilmaz dispossessed, and dispossessed so well by Mainu. What a prospect he looks. Shaw. 3 added minutes. We're into the first of them. Manchester United really need to score if they're to have a good chance of surviving in the Champions League. And it's Anthony trying to feed Maguire of all people, and he's not going to catch that. Yeah, I'm sorry to torture United fans by chronicling their modern record in this competition. You know, in the 12th season since their last final, they failed to qualify for the Champions League 4 times and gone out in the group stages 3 times. It might be 4 coming up. 2 quarterfinals, 2 in 10 tries, you know? McTominay trying to get there. Muslera away.
Well, every game we've seen so far in this group stage.
Anthony. Dalot. Corner kick, Manchester United. Carry on, Rob.
It's the last throes of the opportunity for Manchester United, but nothing from this game, as well as some of their individuals have performed, to suggest that as a team they're going to threaten in this competition, as entertaining as it's been.
But is this their moment? Bruno Fernandes will take the corner. Header away by Torreira. Bruno Fernandes again. Pulled back to Kobbie Mainoo. Defended well by Boe. Shaw will cross it this time. Climbing header by McTominay.
They'll walk off the pitch tonight wondering how they haven't won this game, creating so many chances, not taking them, giving away so many goals. Sometimes it's down to individual errors, sometimes it's down to basics.
They need Bayern Munich to beat Copenhagen later on this afternoon. But then they would need Copenhagen and Galatasaray to draw their final game in Denmark in 2 weeks' time, and they would need to be beating Bayern Munich at Old Trafford in the same time. That's how thin the thread has become now for Manchester United, unless they can find an improbable goal in these final seconds. Referee has seen enough, and that might be enough of the Champions League for Manchester United. They could go out tonight. 2-0 they led here in Istanbul. 3-1 they led here in Istanbul. They've had countless chances to score, but they have conceded countless chances to score. Galatasaray will qualify if they win in Copenhagen in 2 weeks' time. They still have their fate in their own hands, but Manchester United need big, big favours from those around them now. And that dramatic scoreline in a match they all feel they should have won might not be enough for them to survive the night. It's Galatasaray 3, Manchester United 3.